Welcome everyone out there to Ask Hypnotica 79. Today we're going to talk about originality, okay, as far as lifestyle and philosophy and what it is that you want, and to step out of the box that society has tried to put you in, and that women and neighbors and parents and people in society, okay, because this is all about doing something different, doing what you want to do, doing what you want to explore, because you have every right to explore in any way that you want to explore, as long as it doesn't hurt other people, which will tie in with this letter, because my lifestyle, okay, and I live a very different lifestyle than most people, all right, but a lot of guys are very interested in it. It's kind of like menage management to a degree, all right? But there's ways of handling this, okay? Because when people are with other people, all right, things can get messy. And I'll tell you right now, people are like, wow, you live this lifestyle, and sometimes it's messy, okay? I'm going to be straight honest with you. It's not the easiest lifestyle that there is. But then again, 20 years ago when I was wanting to explore this out, wasn't a lot of books on it. So now at least there's guys like me, and there's guys like, I know Johnny Soporno, there's guys like Arash, there's lots of guys out there teaching this stuff right now that understand that when you're dealing with multiple women at one time, it can get messy, and it's not always a cakewalk. So if any of you guys out there think, first of all, I'm setting the frame right now, that it's going to be, clear and dandy and sunshine and rainbows and unicorns dancing off into the distance, okay? You're sorely mistaken, okay? But on that part, when you look back and you realize that you did it your way and you kicked ass and you're proud of the fact that you didn't listen to anyone and that you went through it and that you learned, I mean, the learning in itself, okay, as far as dealing with multiple women that that are not into your lifestyle, okay, that want to be a part of your life but not a part of your lifestyle, okay, very fascinating. It keeps you definitely on your toes. So let's actually get to the letter. It says, hey, Eric, I've been listening to the Awakening program you did with Steve, that's Steve P, over and over in my car for about a year. And I just finished your Meta-Whore book. Very enlightening and empowering. Thank you. Okay. I can walk inside of a nightclub and make out with girls, and even asking for their names in a normal day game, I have found 2 girls I can have sex with whenever I want and just be friends. It's pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Now, I know that what I want when it comes to women, okay, he knows what he wants with women. Okay, I have a question about that journey. How do you deal with hot girls with beliefs about dating and sex that don't match yours? I know some girls that want sex, but maybe they're too bossy, too bitchy, too Catholic. It's kind of funny. Or they want a full-time boyfriend. What is your approach? Since I don't know what to do, I have not taken any sexual action. I've taken action before and it ended badly and annoying. A, she said, you don't respect me. You're an asshole. I'm not one of your whores, etc. I'm in standby mode with these new girls. Help. Thanks in advance. Okay, cool. Well, tell you what, I've been here, my friend, and listen, don't wait around for me to give you advice, okay? I didn't wait around from anyone. There was no advice. I didn't go out there and read, hey, the book on lots of chicks, okay, at one time and figuring them all out. There was no book out there. There's barely any books out there now of guys who are actually doing this, and a big part of the time suffering through it, okay? Because there's a lot of menage management going on when it comes to this kind of things. I mean, there's things that you don't even have to, that you can't even fathom, that you, if you haven't been in this way, is how do you figure out, okay, like what girl you want to hang out with, okay? Maybe you like this girl's personality and maybe it's this day, or how do you get them not to be butthurt about the fact that maybe you chose this girl over another girl. There's a lot of negotiation that goes on in these things, okay? And you have to be able to come back to the main point, and that is you're upfront about it. You say what it is that you want to create on this planet for yourself, for your reasons, okay? And then you leave it like that, and you let it sit. If they don't want to be a part of your life, big deal. Move on. There's 3.7 billion women on this planet, okay? And there's plenty out there that want to explore lots of good things. And it really helps to pre-qualify too, as far as like women and things like this, because if women like women, it makes it much easier where they're like, hey, let's go out and find women, or hey, why don't you bring someone over? We can have fun, okay? But when you're dealing with strictly monogamous women, you're really not going to get that lifestyle that you want, because you know what? There's going to be a lot of headaches. Like me personally, hey, if I'm dealing with a monogamous woman, okay, I'm only dealing with her very superficial level. Okay, because it's not going to go anywhere else. It's not going to develop any deep feelings. It's not going to be anything that she's probably going to be super stoked on, because of the fact that there's no reason why I should even go to that level, because in the bigger picture, it's not even going to work out. Okay, she has nothing in common with me on that level. So let me get to a couple of things that came through here that you said. Sorry, I had to find where I was at here. Okay, so let's just deal with this question first. How do you deal with hot girls with beliefs about dating and sex that don't match yours? Real quick, usually don't even care, don't even listen. I don't even want to take into their world, because you know what, it's like the masses, it's like listening to a sheep. Okay, they probably don't have their own ideas, they don't have their own philosophy, they probably don't have much of their own stuff except for what they've been bought, given, or anything like this. Most people, right, and I'm going to include women in this, right? Actually, it's more about women, because guys are just like this as well. But most people really don't think for themselves, all right? Most people don't create their own philosophies. Most people are just like, it sounds kind of good, all right? No one really gets to the depths, the levels of their spirituality where they got to fine tune, all right? Cut the corners short. Sometimes, cut them too short and get slapped around a bit, all right? So right off the get-go, I don't even care. I don't care. See, I'm different than you, all right? Okay, I spent lots of time with society considers hot women. Okay, like I said before, I call them mathematically proportional, because what hot or what beautiful means to me is completely different. I know girls that would be on the top cover of Playboy, okay, Perfect 10 magazine, okay, and they really have the personality of a log. Okay, and I'm not exaggerating. Okay, really, there's nothing about that. So I look for someone that has their open mind. I look for someone who's pleasant. I look for someone who's happy. I look for someone who has got a good disposition in life, that's innocent to a degree, all right, and pure, and likes to explore and do things and interact with life on a good level. All right. So first of all, don't feel bad if a girl doesn't dig on your lifestyle. Don't try to force her. There's nothing worse than a man or a woman trying to control you and what you believe and trying to manipulate you into the status quo. Don't do that. Now, another thing is you're gonna have to get real good at this. Okay, like when people try to put labels on me, all right, I'm just gonna give you some responses right here. All right. So if a girl comes at me, and trust me, you get some girls like right now. I apologize if you listen to my last Ask Hypnotica 78. Okay, I told this guy, hey, dude, you're kind of being fucking pathetic. Right now, that was a little harsh. I'll agree. Okay, I'm sorry on that level, but one of the things, because it was just got done, I got just done dealing with a girl who is a little needy, all right, and it's constantly trying to put it in a box, or I always say, hey, I always tell her oh, we're gonna put the seatbelt on. She's like, what do you mean? And I go, because you're trying to take me for a guilt trip, all right. When women try to control and frame things like this, you got to be very, very cautious, but you better be a master, okay, at being able to refine and redesign and reframe the woman's position, because I will, okay, this is going to sound bad, okay, but I will brutally rearrange a person's thinking, okay, to a degree if they try to put me in a box. So if a girl comes at me, let's just go through some of these little ideas that you said here. Where a girl comes at me and she says, you don't respect me. Now she's setting the frame right there, okay? You could be totally respectful of her, but she's trying to frame it, she's trying to get leverage, and she's trying to get you into a position. So it's simply, this is what I talk about, the mind lines, which are really good. She says, well, you don't respect me. I go, well, I respect you enough to tell you the truth. Okay, isn't that respectful? Or what's your definition of respect? Well, definition of that you're only with me. Okay, no, that's actually prison. All right, so you better get good at doing these things. So when a person comes at you and says, you don't respect me, I say, you could also say, so if you want to date another guy, that would mean that I'm supposed to be disrespected. Okay, there's lots of different things you could do. But the first thing is you got to break their pattern of thought, because they're caught in the mundane of their thinking. Okay, and that's, to me, it's a total turnoff. Okay, when people are that limited. Now, that being said as well, every person has their right to be happy with what it is they want. Okay, not everyone's gonna like my lifestyle. Lots of people don't like my lifestyle. Okay, I'm not really into monogamy, but you know what? I can absolutely respect monogamy. If a person's into that, hey, more power to them. Matter of fact, let me help find you a guy. If you're looking for a guy, I'll even help find a guy who's looking for a girl who's just monogamous. All right. So it's when they try to throw their venom on you, when it's trying, they open and use their tongues as daggers and make you feel bad. Like another one, she says, well, you're an asshole. You can say, well, actually, assholes are people that try to repress people and try to make people feel bad about what it is that they want. So if I'm telling you the truth and I was upfront about the whole thing, then actually, I'm just being honest, and you're the one that's actually being an asshole, okay? So there's another way to reframe this, okay? And she also says, I'm not one of your whores. And you can say, well, there's another asshole thing you said, because I don't look at women as whores. I look at people as people that I choose to spend time with. And because this personality is different than this personality, maybe I like variety. Maybe I like the different opinions that people have, and I like the different energies that people share. So, girls will do a lot of stuff like this. Now, the other thing is, if you're serious about this, okay, this is one of those things you have to have a philosophy to a degree down, okay? If you're just like most guys be like, oh, I just want to be with a couple chicks, and you haven't really thoroughly thought it out about why or what makes it that way, then you're not really going to get it because you're not really thorough about it. Like, to me, I have a philosophy down. It's like, like I like partner, co-partner. I like to imagine, like, if I'm walking down the street, I got someone on my right, someone on my left looking out for me. We work together as a team. I also have it where it's actually a lot easier. So just recently I had, the wife over, and a girl was staying here with the mother-in-law. Yeah, I was pushing it a little bit there. Okay. But here's the cool thing. Like, I like to make green drinks. Okay. Now, I don't know if you ever made green drinks, but they're kind of time consuming. So you got to go out to the garden, okay, gather them, bring them back, wash them, okay, cut them up, okay, juice them, and then mix them up, and then, clean up. For one person, that's a lot of work. So let's just say that we're really pushing our health and we want to go, 3 green drinks a day. For one person, a lot of work. For 2 people, a lot of work. Now, for 3 people, you can really kind of break it down. So if you work together as a team, there's so much more to do. Okay, so maybe I do AM. Okay, someone else does the noon, and someone else does late at night. That's manageable. And what do we get? We all get the benefits of it. It could be that I wash them, they juice them, and someone else cleans up. We could all work together that way. It could be like, hey, maybe my car breaks down. Okay, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm fucking tapped out. Okay, well, hey, you know what? We all work together as a group. Hey, we'll take care of it this way. To me, I only see positive benefit. Okay, and a lot of people don't understand this about me. And matter of fact, another thing, I'm kind of going all over the board, but you better be prepared. Okay, let's talk about the philosophy. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little all over the place, but let me write down in my mind. Okay, people will think you're an asshole. Hopefully I remember that. It's hard when it's not true to remember things like that. So the other thing is that philosophy is like, how are you going to explain it to people? Now, I say this to people, look, okay, love is additive to me. Like, let's just say I have a dog and I have all 100% love for this dog. Well, if this dog has a puppy, I don't go, well, you know what? It had 100% love. Now it's only 50% love. So that he only gets 50% love, and now his puppy gets 50% love. Oh, he had twins, so now it's like 50%, he gets 25. No, love is additive, okay? It's not subtractive, okay? So when you understand that, more people with the same vision, the same purpose, on the same page with the same idealistic ideas, whether you're together or you're not, or it's separate, okay? That's what the future is going to be. It's about, choices. It's about, things that you want. I also tell women this, like, look, listen, you can be like a plant, okay? A plant needs vitamin A and let's just say vitamin C, okay? Now, a lot of girls are like, well, I just guess I'm not good enough. No, actually, you're the perfect vitamin C, okay? But she is vitamin A. So it's like, you could be the perfect vitamin C and I get everything and you're just amazing at being vitamin C, but you're not vitamin A as well. So once you understand that about yourself, what you like, okay, that's just up to you to define it and to be free about it. And listen, like I said, I'm going to come back to that asshole thing. Lots of people will be like, oh, he's an asshole. And, he's using, no, everyone knows, okay, except for the people that are super close to me, okay? They know that, like, hey, I do what I do. People may not get it. They'll talk shit. They'll talk all kinds of ideas and say, oh, well, he's just this, he's just that. Okay, to a degree, is it true? Who knows, okay? But to punish a person for being original in their own thinking and living life the way that they want to, okay, that's just basically their limitation. Now, another thing to be said, all right, and I want you to understand this. If you're living this kind of lifestyle, you better be man enough to be able to take the heat as well. Because, and I've had plenty of girls do this, all right, where they're like, well, you have that lifestyle, so can I? Hey, if you feel like you need that, then go ahead, right on. Just be honest about it, okay? And lots of girls, will give you the sting because they're like, well, I'm going to feel it. He better feel it too. Now, this is where a lot of guys get weird, okay? Now, a real man, in my opinion, real man can take it. He's like, yeah, man, you know what? Like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, okay? But a lot of guys are like, no, it's just got to be this certain way. And that evolves over time, okay? Because to me, it wasn't always like that. And this is something that evolved with me to the point where I'm like, yeah, like, you know what? Like, I'm not threatened by any guy whatsoever. What you and him have together, like, hey, maybe he's let me go out and walk up a trail and go eat a picnic table at the top of a mountain type of guy. Not me. I'm not going to do that, okay? I'm a totally different breed, okay? We're going to explore a whole nother world. So I don't try to be that. So if she's getting that satisfaction out there, hey, more power to her, okay? So you've got to really be able to do these things. And like I said, some girls will just try to stick it to you to make you feel the pain, all right? And they'll go out there and fuck your best friend or things like this. Shit like that happens. It's happened to me, okay? bottom line, you just be real cool about the fact that you're glad that that person's not going to be in your life, because when you see the vindictive nature of that person and why they're doing it, then it kind of enlightens you to who they are and what they're really about. And that's just the way it goes. So I want you to be aware of these things. So, and basically that whole thing, I basically talk about, like, be prepared to have that mirror put up in your face. So, you can get it, you're going to get the reflection of what you're giving off. All right. Hopefully you do it in the right way. But bottom line is this, like, be open. Okay. Like, you're going to lose some. Yeah. Right off the get go. Okay. People will be like, oh, what? Fuck that. No, I'm not even having it. Okay. But then there's other people that when you aren't committed, like in a way where you're like, and here's the biggest mistake guys can make. It's just you and me, baby. All right, like you and me, okay? Don't lie like that, okay? Just basically be real about what it is you want. Maybe it's a temporary thing. Maybe it's a long-term thing, okay? But once you know it up front, then it really sets the parameter, because you can always come back to the truth. That's the one thing about truth that's wonderful, is you can always come back and say, did I say this? Did I say this? Did I say this? They may not like it. They may get mad at you, but they have to respect the fact that you were being honest with them, because, like me. Take it this way. If I wanted to, I could play the shit out of people, okay? Something I've learned over 24 years dealing with multiple thousands and thousands and thousands of dancers and manipulative people and just the underworld of the society that I kind of work within, okay? Yeah, I could fuck someone's head up real good, especially with all the hypnosis and NLP, but why? Okay, that's not cool. It's not cool, and you don't need to, as long as you tell the truth up front and you're being honest about it. So if you're looking for it, and this is the young mistake. A lot of you guys are gonna be like, okay, I'm just gonna tell her what I want to say because I want to get her in bed. I was there. Okay, it's gonna hurt some feelings. It's gonna piss some people off. Okay, so like I said, I want you to be aware of these things before you get. The best bet is basically be like, give or take. You want to be in my life? Cool. If you don't want to be in my life, cool. All right, I'm just going to keep on going. And here's another thing. Like, people have said this over there, oh, it's never going to work. This is the big one. Oh, it's never going to work. Well, for the last 20-something years, it may not have worked perfectly, but you know what? I've always had a pretty good supply of wonderful women. Well, not all wonderful, but, women in my life to live this lifestyle that I want, so that I can teach guys on this level. Like, you got to be able to live it. You got to be able to do it if you're going to teach it. If not, then you're just a false charlatan, and if you don't know and you're telling about how easy it is and stuff like this, and I know there's a couple good teachers out there. Oh, Adam Lyons is another one who's living this lifestyle. Okay, you got to really understand, like, you can tell when a person's bullshitting you, all right? All right, and anyone who's been through this with living with multiple women or multiple women in their lives, and they say that it's, like I said, all like rainbows and butterflies and hummingbirds flying over the sunset, and they say it's easy. It's not. It's very challenging. In fact, it's really good for your own flexibility, your own creativity, your own ability to figure out what you want, and to stick and stand your ground. And here's another thing, like I said, you're going to have to really upgrade their thinking, because when they come at you, they're coming usually at you from a fear point of view. So the more life experience you have, the more you have it defined, the more you're able to really, like I said, reframe the way that they're thinking and really get them to understand the fact that, like, hey, you know what, maybe the limitation is on that person, all right? Because we are moving into society that is going to be much more open, okay, much more sexual, much more stuff going on, and that's a good thing. So hopefully one of these ideas went in your head and you started to think about it and position yourself. It was kind of a vague question, so I'm going to go with just what I know, and I can go a lot further than that, but I don't want to get too deep into it right now, because we don't have hours and hours and hours and hours. It's more like a seminar weekend to really discuss how these things work and work usefully. So with that, I hope you have a fantastic day, and if you like this, be sure to like and subscribe and check out my website. You may find some stuff. You'll see 3 links after this. So with that, we'll talk soon. Hypnotica, out. Pow.